have to know to re-steer the ship in the same way that you're re-steering the ship in business. We have to re-steer the ship at home. We have to know to change our calendar, to change our schedule, to change our rhythm. So there's some things that you can keep. Obviously, you know, we talk a lot about date night. Well, we've not been able to go out on a date night. But trying to take intentional moments to be together is important. Same thing with your family. You're not able to go out somewhere for a board meeting, but you could go, you know, maybe walk your dogs together, or, you know, jump on the trampoline together, or try to find moments in which you can still be one-on-one. But going back to schedule, we built our schedule. There are 4 children ranging from 16 to 3, and then us 2 running 2 businesses. So we created 3 different schedules. One is for our little ones, which I'll talk about in a minute. One is for our big guys, and one is for us. Our daughters put some heart stickers on them. So what we did was we knew the things that were important that we hit. Here, I'll hold them up while I talk. So these are, there we go. The things that were important to us to make sure that happened, and then to try to coordinate what we were doing with what our teens were doing and what our toddlers were doing. So for example, let's see if I can hold these both up and see them at the same time. You will notice that there are things, this is great. So our boys have to make certain that by 10 a.m., all of their jobs are complete. So that means one's responsible for doing the floors, one's responsible for doing dishes, so on. They each have their jobs and their school check-in. That needs to be complete by 10 a.m. because come 10 a.m., 10 to 11, they're with the toddlers. Because if you look and see here, from 10 to 11, Jim and I are having our meeting. It's super important that we're able to meet on 18 Summers on both of our businesses together. And then to go along with that, I wonder if I'm going to be able to fit all 3 on here. So if you look at Maggie and Sam, our little ones, it aligns 10 to 11 brother time. So it's just taking all of our pieces and aligning them together. So again, I'll just highlight a couple of pieces because I know y'all can see these. You can screenshot them if you're interested. We can send them out. We have a group clean from 4 to 4:30. That is on everybody's schedule. Again, you know, there are things that we've added in so that we are weaving in time together and time apart. Twice a day, we are utilizing either audiobooks or a library show on the computer or a television show twice a day to be able to navigate a little bit of extra time without caretakers. So we're leaning on our older 2 to do an hour together with the toddlers. And then we're also leaning a little bit on electronics, twice 2 shows or audiobooks. From 4:30 to 5 each day. And this is something Jim will want to talk about. That's when we're allowing one of the kids shows. From 4:30 to 5, we do learning with the big guys. So we decided that while we have this extra time, why not take the advantage of reading a book together? So we do a deep dive, easy digest. Each day we get together and we talk for a few minutes about a book that we're all reading. Right now it's Deep Work, about how you need to spend a certain chunk of time to be able to really get into that creative mode. I know your arms are probably tired.
No, not at all. But I think it's important, guys, to show this. I know Gabe and I have had lots of conversations on this, the importance of getting involved with our children's education. So the book we just finished was Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill, unbelievable read. And he wrote it just after the 1929 Depression. Unbelievable lessons that we are drawing out and having conversations on now with the situation we're going through, the unknown, the simplicity of reading. We were doing 10 to 12 pages a week. Now we're trying to do about 10 pages a day. So we just finished this one, and then we went to Deep Work. And if any of you guys have ever read the book Deep Work, this is really, really good. Cal Newport. And what he talks about is it is impossible to really be an artist, to be at your absolute optimal if you're always having interruptions. So he goes pretty deep into the tech fasting and to the tech distancing that I talked about. And we're sharing these lessons with our boys. We're saying we can still be doing certain things and we want to keep learning. So that 4:30 to 5 is such a good time. It grounds me. It's teaching me lessons I need to do right now for our family and business. And it's teaching our children the practical affairs of life. What we're going through right now, this is the practical affairs of life that school doesn't prepare them for, but we can. We can do it right now while we're home with them.
And so I'm going to just put these, I'm going to see if I can get them all up together. Oh, it's okay, because I think I have them. So just so you see again, that we just try to align everybody's, and I'm wondering if these are backwards. That's probably really, anyways, we can send out a screenshot. But if you see, we try to
We're
incorporate.
We're going to send out a screenshot of all those.
Try to incorporate, what I call a breath in and a breath out. So we have an active time and then we have a focus time. We have an active time and we have a focus time, because it's important to make sure that you don't burn out in one that you don't burn out in one area. So what you want to make sure is that you're having time to burn out all of your energy and then time to focus. And so that's really what the schedule is all about. There's a meeting, but then there's playtime. There's a focused writing, and then there's family playtime. And so we've designated 1 to 4 each day. So it's 3 hours. You might do more or less, to making sure that we all stop and just spend time together. So we can play, we can go for a bike ride in the neighborhood, we can jump on the trampoline, we can go walk on our beach, but we're mindful to take that time to do that. So just making sure that whatever schedule you build, that it accommodates, that you take into mind everybody in the home. So take all of your people and all of your pieces, and then figure out how you can align them. Okay, so your children only need 3 hours of schooling. How can they help in other areas? How can they stay entertained while you're doing what you need to do? So it's just a matter of making sure that schedule weaves in really nicely with everybody's needs and with that breath in and breath out.
Yeah, with that scheduling too, I think Jamie brought up an important point. If you've never homeschooled before, homeschooling, why we liked it is because we found it was more effective. What takes normal school 6 hours, you can do in 3. What normally takes 10 months, we would do in 7.
Well, and really the thing is
So-
that a lot of people aren't homeschooling. They're at home doing school. So there's a big difference.
Ryan's asking us to do a recap.
And I did.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the recap. Ryan, so in case that you can see and hear it, okay, we already did the recap on that. Sorry, just trying to make sure we keep up with you guys. But again, I'm going to go back again, because this is where we're all being taught to take that breath, because we have a lot of things that we're facing right now. First thing is, if I can give a little space from technology when I'm having to be with the family, or from the family when I'm trying to do the business, that's important. The second thing, guys, learn from my mistakes. Take this time today, sit down, uninterrupted, with the phone off, and build a schedule that involves everyone in the family. That way, if you're having this coexisting schedule at home, again, I think it was Stephen Covey said that, the difference between someone prepares is not 2 to 1, it's like 5,000 to 1 in results. This has been absolutely key. You can see Jamie's fun little Waldorf Montessori artwork. It doesn't have to be a huge, complicated thing. It can be a general framework of schedule. But this has helped me focus on work, know when I'm supposed to be off. Like Jamie said, I really hustle. I'm a hustler in the morning. So what happens in those first 3-4 hours in the morning, I get it done. Then I'm taking a break in the afternoon, normally about 1 to 3. Because I know I'm going to go back at it, and I want to be with my children. My kids need playmates. They want to be near me.
And you need rejuvenation.
And I need the rejuvenation. So that time is for me. So it's super important, guys. We don't need more content. We need more execution. Stop. Discuss with your kids, especially if they're older or even if they're little. Help them create the schedule. We did in a piece where, hey, here's what the parents are doing at different
that's
times.
that's a great thing to say. So we did take everybody into account. So we showed everyone the schedule. We said, what is it that you need to hit? And honestly, as we've gone on in the days and as the time has elongated, we've noticed, so our space used to be 12 to 4 for family playtime. And just yesterday we were noticing, wow, we're actually busier than we thought we were going to be. So we've had to shorten family playtime and implement other things into place. So just understand that even when you create a schedule, you still have to understand that you may have to recreate it. Just as in business, just as in anything else, you're navigating this new schooling at home and working at home.
Exactly. And I think with that schedule too, we're trying to be aware of there's 3 pieces. You need time with your work, you need time with yourself, you need time with your family. And we're trying to honor those things. Like I'm trying to make sure, because although I run more of the other business, and then Jamie and I do this together, I have to go into business more. She has to be home more. We both get burnt out. So we're trying to make sure each of us has space just to have something on our own. Like I've been going out surfing early every morning, trying to get Jamie where she has time to do yoga or some writing or things that she wants. But in that schedule, try to work in where you're going to have clear work time, maybe some individual time just to rejuvenate, and then time with your family. Jamie and I, although we can't go on dates, we haven't put it on the schedule. We talked about adding, even if we can just go for a walk around the neighborhood for 20 minutes, that's huge. It's huge for rejuvenation. Mm-hmm. So guys, sit down today, do this schedule. It makes a huge difference.
And if you need help, send us what you're thinking. And then I'm always happy to look at it. I've built rhythms and schedules for schools of various ages, and just being able to see that breath in and breath out. And along that same concept, I think that we talked before about high warmth and high expectation. So you have to, if you're asking a lot of your children, like, oh, I need to take this call, I need to do this, I need to do, and you're implementing, because, you know, we do need to rely on each other and then also our children more than we probably ever have. And we're learning skills in this time that are going to serve them far into the future, that are going to serve us far into the future. It's not something that we necessarily would have signed up for, but it's definitely extending grace and courtesy to one another, learning how to work as a team. Some of these things that your children are learning and watching you do are going to just reach far into the future, and they're actually going to remember these things and be able to implement these things. So remember, when you're building that calendar, it's okay to lean on your spouse a little more. It's okay to ask for a little extra grace. It's okay to extend a little extra grace. It's also okay to lean on your children. If they haven't been responsible for maybe housekeeping, it's okay to say, hey, we lost our cleaners because we want to keep safe. I need you to take out all the bathroom trashes and you to wipe down your counters, something like that, and build that into your schedule.
Yeah.
That way, and make certain that you're acknowledging, appreciating, and communicating. Because times like this, I even catch myself, it's moving so quickly that I forget to say, I know we're all going above and beyond. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think when you plan this schedule, when you sit down and do it, like with our older boys, we've been telling them what's going on. I mean, they watch some of the news with us. We're letting them know, hey, there's a lot of families that are turning to us right now. I have to take some more calls. There's also, you know, we're keeping our real estate investment company going and one of our employees. So involve them. Tell them about this.
Yeah, let them know without the scary parts, not like, you know, the bad stuff, but just, hey, we're all banding together. Here's what I've seen happen. You know, yesterday we got groceries for grandma and grandpa and had to wipe them all down, put them in a separate bag and deliver them ourselves. So there's just certain things that they're seeing that is different.
Yeah. So good.
What's next?
So the schedule is key.